Yeah, are you able to see now?
Yeah, your video is on, and you need to share your screen also.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So Rakesh, can I leave this call?
Yes, yes, Sapna, I'm good actually. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. All the
Yeah,
best, Amarjit.
yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Amarjit.
Yeah, hi, Rakesh. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm just opening your resume. So,
Okay,
uh, yeah. So I'll go through your resume, but at the same time, you can brief about yourself, okay?
sure.
And just tell me about yourself, where you are currently working, what project you are currently working, what is your roles and responsibility over there, and
Hmm.
what technology that you have used in current project. So those things will be enough to, okay? Hmm.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
just a minute. Yeah, hi. Thank you for asking. My name is Amarjit. I'm having 7+ years of experience. Currently, I'm doing for the Java development. So the technology which I use like Java with Spring Boot microservices, Spring Cloud component as a backend, front end also have a good experience. Like Angular 9. Coming for the database, I used Mongo and Oracle. Depends on the requirement. We use different type of domain database also. And while we use the Spring application, Spring Boot application, then we have a deployments, and also for the deployment purpose we use AWS services, cloud services. So most of the services I use like EC2, Elastic Beanstalk, S3, Bucket, CloudWatch, and others. uh, yeah, so these all are the technology stack which I use. Also I have a good experience in DevOps tools like Apache Maven, Jenkins, Jira, GitHub, ELK, Splunk, and all. Coming for this domain, I have good knowledge about the different domain like telecom, e-commerce, banking, and health insurance. So currently I'm working for the health insurance project. There we are managing the project, if users can take any type of insurance from the portal, then we need to internally manage this applications, so that orders has been created by the customer, we will process the order. So once we will process the order internally, we will have a multiple microservice communications to take orders, and then we will check the particular slot or what type of store is available. Based on the store, we will define this payment. So how many payment calculation is required for this particular insurance, who will be applicable, and where to do the payment. Once users will do the payment, before that, if users is applicable for any rebate or any of promo code, which will be do some of the discounts and all, so that customer will get some notification you have offer discount for that this offer ID. If you want, you can use to redeem. So this type of things will be happen. Once payment will calculated, then we'll have a schedulers, so that batch will be scheduled, and then customer will notify through the SMS, email alerts, and all. So that type of work we have in this project. Currently working, for my role and responsibility for this project is like doing customization implementation based on the microservice development. So here we are following agile. Based on the agile, we need to work on particular sprint, Jira task, and all. So mostly I worked on the microservice development and API communications, which will be communicated from one to another. Also have a synchronized asynchronous communication. So mostly I used for the asynchronous as a messaging based, which will have a Kafka, so that Kafka will interact with the respective microservices and then do the sync up. So these type of things I am working. Apart from this, while we develop any application, there will be some deployments and all. So once it will go for the deployment, so in that cases we will be available on call, so that check all the changes, what are the configurations, what are the validations logs we have enabled, that is fine or not. So that this pre-requested we have to verify it, and after that, after the post deployment, we also need to check the logs and monitor the application changes and all. So that type of work mostly I'm doing on daily basis. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Hmm. Okay. So you are working as a senior developer, right? Or as a lead?
Mostly as a lead and development also.
Okay. So your project has a UI also. I mean, I know you are working in the back end, but is there any front end also
Front
there?
end also is there. Yeah, Angular is already there in front end. Angular 9 based on development.
Okay, okay, okay. You share your screen, right? Why it looks like something? Uh,
Yeah, also I'm checking like my
you able to see how it looks like? I lot of
yeah, lot of pictures
pictures.
and all.
I'm not sure because of.
Now it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, but yeah, okay. Maybe when you share your screen,
Mhm.
you might need all this.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so Amarjit, okay, so you have experience on Spring Boot and microservices, right?
yeah,
So you
correct.
mostly use this. Okay. Okay, so uh, what do you understand by marshalling and unmarshalling in
Um,
Java?
Java, yeah. So marshalling and unmarshalling is Java is used for, I think, convert from one type to another type. So if you
No, so you okay okay you have used Postman, right?
yeah,
So what you pass? What
mostly
when you
JSON
call?
data.
Okay, you pass JSON, right?
Yeah.
Then how it is converting into Java object? Have you
So
noticed every time?
yes, yes. So JSON object. So we while we are passing the JSON object, then there is a some conversion and mappers will be there like GJSON or others mapper which will be taken care internally for the postman. So they will convert this, take the JSON file and create a object file.
Who, okay, what is responsible to change from JSON to Java? Is that Postman or your application?
No, mostly will be have a backend applications while we are doing. So our applications will have a two ways. One is a mapper base. We need to create a mapper, take a input from the JSON. Like suppose if you use a third party or client, they are sending some JSON data. We need to take a JSON file through the controller and we will process in the service implementation class. So while service implementation class, we need to create a mapper class or mappers. We have to take all the JSON's attribute and then we will convert as a Java object. Others we have some of the libraries also there like GJSON and others also have uh, JSON. So through that also we will create
Okay, so what is the default content type your application accept?
application like a JSON file will be the default.
But if you want to change to JSON to some other format,
Yeah, so if you want, you can through the UI level while you are doing the testing UI level you can change content type, and in Postman like while you are developing in backend application level we'll have a controller. So controller will have a like a consumer and producer. So that consumer you have to mention like what type of format you will be accepting like so either XML, text, HTML, another that once you will define, then that only will be generated from this.
okay. Hmm. Okay, so that way you can change it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you downloaded any file?
From where, like what type of file?
Any text file?
Through the Java,
Not text.
right?
Yes, yes. Through your API call and all. What you put as a return type?
Return type mostly will depends on the requirement. Mostly will have a
In
string
case
as
of
a,
download,
yeah. In case of download, if you want to download this, so return type will have a string type like list of a string or a string type.
Okay, how you can download the file in Java, in Spring Boot?
Yeah, so we can download like once if you want to add these features to download this one. So create a first UI. There have a download options. Once users will click on this download event button, so that request will go for our controller. Controller will have a download slash download file. So slash download files will go for the particular services, and services will check uh, like yeah, so services will check what type of parameters. Based on the parameters, this will be fetch the information from the repository layer, that is database, and then create a file. Either like if you want what type of file is accepting, either JSON or maybe some RAR file, jar file or others. So for that dependent library or dependency we have to add in our application pom.xml, and then they will capture the details from the database, and then they will return back to the our service implementation class. So that service implementation class will get this detail and convert it into the whatever the format you want, and then send it back to the controller page, which will be shown in this UI.
Okay, so what do you understand by the request at the rate request body?
At the rate request body, like what type of attribute you want in the body, so that data will be fetched according to, like if users is fetched based on the ID. So in that ID, apart from this, you want a salary which of employee have 10,000 something, and address which will be from different locations and all. So that you have to mention in this request body, so that based on the request body we will fetch.
What is request param?
Request param, which will be used in the parameters on URI form. So while you are creating a URL on this header, so that header we can pass some parameters, like
In
so
a
on
header?
not in header, like in URL.
Mm-hmm.
So that URL, like I we need to get the details from the employee, which ID is one, and then
So
department is
okay.
IT.
So what do you understand by request param, path variable, and header? Can you give me example? These are three different thing, right?
Yes,
Why we use three different thing? Can you please give me example? And which you know, I need some practical example where you can
correct.
say this is the purpose of using it, not the definition only. Okay.
Yeah, so request body which is used in inside this body, we can enter the details, and based on that we will fetch that.
Any
And
example?
yeah, so if you want to get the employee detail, so that employee detail, you need to filter multiple parameters like ID, name, salary, department and all, so that you have
Okay,
to mention.
tell me one thing, okay? Okay, can you share your screen? I have one
Yes.
question too.
Yeah.
Notepad only you can share, okay? That
Mhm.
would be enough. Okay. So, okay, suppose just a simple example. I want to fetch the details of any employee. So employee has just type it name
Mhm.
and ID.
Mhm.
Name, ID, and department. These three field I want to fetch for the employee. You tell me how you can map an object and call the API. A simple example is enough. What are the minimum details you need to get all these three values?
So
Can you
you
please?
want all the classes which I have to create, like DTO controllers and all.
No, simple. I just need a controller class because I want to know how you map it. What do you know? Controller class and then service. That's it. Even though service you don't want to create, it's okay. Directly you can call the method to get all these details. But yeah, controller and service, you just need to do it. Okay. See, I want to see you know all the annotations properly and you want to fetch the data. Okay. So that's what I'm expecting. You will be returning a string.
Yeah.
How you can return a string for all the three values?
List of a string we will put it.
How you can return the list of a string for three values?
String also we can do because based on the ID which will be followed. So suppose ID we have
No,
a.
no. I want to pass you object, the body.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pass you the body, and in
Okay.
the body, these three fields will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Based on any of the field, you can fetch the value.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Get it. This way we can do like we have auto wire annotation, rest controller, get mapping, and path variable. If we want these three value, then we will have a request body. Request body.
No, no. Only controller layer is fine as of now. You just show me the controller layer.
So controller layer, first we will create a controller class. There we'll have a request rest controller, and then we will invoke the service that will be auto wire. And after that we used a map method which have a get detail, which get mapping. There I used based on the ID as a path
So
variable.
in get mapping, you no need to give the path, is it?
Yeah, we have to mention this parameters like slash employee slash. slash id, and then we have a path variable id. You can like that we can call it thing.